laughing. When I start off with a giggle, you know there's going to be a problem. Guys, listen, so this is my post-market wrap-up, Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. Some things are just too unfreaking believable, and that's how I think we're going to start this off. Before we do anything, let's start off with this. We got the Fed minutes today, and you're not gonna. Well, maybe you will. If you, this is just too much. Let me just show you what I wrote before I show you what's actually happening. I wrote, "Go ahead, make it up. There's no way." This was the conclusion of the Fed minutes, their last meeting. Fed officials see inflation just around the corner, and they think consumers will bear the burden. How many does this require? More than are in the known universe, right? Right, Brian? That's the lead singer of our little band we got. Yeah, that's what he said. Make that up. Make it up. It gets even better than that. Let's just turn our eyes for a moment on this stock market. Nothing day again. With the Dow putting on a slight gain, negative for the S&P, the Nasdaq took the biggest hit today. 10-year yield dropping, and I'm telling you right now, after what we just found out, and we're going to cover it in a moment, you can expect the 10-year yield to potentially drop below 4%. I believe, look guys, the clues are always there. What do we know is going on? And you can argue this all you want. Give it your best shot. The United States is being pillaged from within. There are those at the highest level of government, and I mean the highest level of government, who are investing massively in bonds. There's only one reason to do that. If you are expecting the bond market to drop, or bond yields specifically to drop dramatically, there's an inverse relationship here. You buy a bond at, let's say, today's price, knowing bond yields are going to drop in the future, you make obscene amounts of cash. I want you to keep that in mind, as I've been trying to tell you guys that the 1% and 2%ers are raping the United States. They're fostering the greatest wealth transfer the world has ever seen, right up to the 1% and 2%ers, and some of them are bold enough to be taking action which really should be illegal, but it's not. It's not. Our loving, caring representatives are allowed to trade on inside information. They're allowed to do things that if you and I tried to do it, we'd be in handcuffs, me especially. I already got in trouble twice with the SEC. You guys all know that. A long time ago. Ironed it out. Didn't have to pay them a freaking dime. All right, they're just... I'm not even going to say anything because then I'll get back on their radar here. So 10-year yield lower, dollar dying, cryptocurrencies catching a bid, gold and silver catching a bid, crude oil catching a bid, lovely and freaking fantastic. Now, again, keep this in mind right here. So the Fed officials, they see it. In their crystal ball, they didn't see it before because it was temporary. It was transitory. It was going to go away and it was going to be just beautiful. But now they see it. It took all this time for them to see it. Let me ask you. We're friends, right? We can talk about anything. Okay. What does it mean if the currency loses more purchasing power, or if, let's just throw a hypothetical out here, because it couldn't possibly happen in reality. Let's say a sitting president of the United States said, "I demand a weaker dollar." Of course, this could never happen, right? Okay. Or a sitting president said, "I demand lower rates." You see, because if someone were invested, let's say, in the bond market, buying, let's say, $100 million worth of bonds, and they knew, just a hint, that the bond market or bond yields were going to drop, they would make obscene amounts of money. This should be illegal, right? Yeah, I would think so too. So tell Greg again, being that the Fed sees inflation, and well, we all know that President Trump and Vance are demanding a weaker dollar. Came out of the mouth of Trump first. Same thing he said during his last term. How does a weaker dollar help stop inflation? It doesn't. No, it makes it worse. And what makes that even worse is if hypothetically, we had a president saying, I demand lower rates. Wait, that is what Trump is saying. Wait a minute. Yeah. And some presidents, oh, yes, Trump just snapped up more than $100 million in bonds since taking office. You mean to tell Greg that if the Fed actually does cut rates, President Trump's going to make an obscene amount of money? Yes, he will. And he'll make more money off of dollar devaluation. You're going to lose as inflation will keep rising. But again, the Cantillon effect, the 1% and 2%ers, they're raping our nation from within. How do you like that? How about we called all of this before it happened? And I lost thousands of subs. Literally, I lost thousands when I came out and said this was going to happen. Well, where are these people now? They're mute. They've become walking, zombified, useless idiots. Yes, that's what they've become, because now they're going, oh, wait a minute. Someone said this was going to happen, but who would believe that the President of the United States would buy $100 million worth of bonds, knowing and demanding? This is a conflict of interest on an epic scale. Of course it is. But they're allowed to do it. This is a pillaging of the United States of America. Again, lower yields don't help you. It kills the currency. How does the Fed lower bond yields? It has to create currency out of nothing. Buy the debt. What does that do? It kills the purchasing power of the currency. And guess what? The Fed's vision that they had, because they finally see it, yeah, you get hit right in the pocketbook. So is your way of life, your cost of living, and everything else. But some people are going to make obscene amounts of money. We're going to cover more of that in a moment, because you can't make it up. But this is the environment we're in. Now, before we get there, just real quick, guys, if you do subscribe to the Freedom Platform, and I really hope you do, read this. This is in your inbox right now, a full breakdown. We literally have hit the point of no return. It plays right into what President Trump is doing, betting that bond yields are going to fall, pillaging the economy, raping everyone. We're not making America great again. We are failing faster, way faster than under Biden creature, who was another thing, vomitous mass puke, that I really didn't like very much. But make sure you read this, people. This is gold. It's in your inbox right now if you subscribe to the Freedom Platform. So, let's talk about this. We got a lot to talk. You know what? Let's focus on President Trump real quick for a moment, since I brought it up. So, if you read nothing else today, read this. Trump has snapped up more than $100 million in bonds since taking office. So let's talk about it. This is CNBC. U.S. President Donald Trump has spent at least $100 million on bonds since taking office, according to official filings. By law, U.S. presidents, vice presidents, and other select officials must periodically declare reportable transactions to the OGE. I'll tell you who the OGE is in a moment. The precise value of these dealings does not have to be reported, but they have to report what they're buying, I guess. Okay, fine. Lions, this is a massive conflict of interest. Why? Let me break it down for you. Trump has been buying U.S. treasuries since taking office, at least $100 million, as per the U.S. Office of Government Ethics. U.S. government... Office of Government Ethics, the OG, you can't make that up. Now, bonds move inversely to interest rates. So if yields go down, as President Trump wants them to do, screaming from rooftops, with Vance, because I can only imagine how much Vance must have bought too. Anyway, as a epic conflict of interest, as bonds move inversely to interest rates. So if rates go down, bond prices go up. As president, he is calling for rate cuts. If the Fed follows, whether for any freaking reason, political pressure or just a coordinated narrative, we know they're going to do it. He personally profits massively. This isn't just textbook conflict of interest. It's a direct alignment between policy and a personal portfolio alliance. This is the same game the elites always play. What swamp creatures write the rules and then bet on the outcome they themselves are engineering. It couldn't be more clear that that's what this is all about. And if Biden were doing that, do you know what MAGA people would be doing? They would be defecating themselves right now. But right now, in fact, I had one guy defend it. This is good for the president. Yeah, just one so far. Wait till you see the comments. You can't defend this. I don't care what chain you're wearing, and you have to defend the man. This should be illegal, but it's of course it's not. You know, I want to hold off on the bond market real quick because we're playing right into this. President Trump today, again, as we predicted, more calls for artificial rate suppression. I think we know why now. Okay, the truth has been revealed. Yeah, we are being pillaged from within. America is being destroyed from within. As predicted, more calls for artificial rate suppression and further currency devaluation. Here's the headline. Trump's interest rate demands put fiscal dominance in market spotlight. Let me just read this to you. New York, Reuters. As U.S. debt swells, this is Reuters, not me. I'll tell you when I get my 2 cents in here. As U.S. debt swells and the White House leans on the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, I wonder why. The budget bill passed last month by Republican-controlled Congress is set to pile trillions into the swelling U.S. debt load, raising the cost of servicing the debt. U.S. President Donald Trump has meanwhile made explicit calls for the Fed to cut rates. We now know why. In part to lower the government's interest costs. Of course, that's part of it, because we're done. Now, Lions, this is me. Servicing the debt, or that debt, interest payments alone, is becoming the single largest budget line item, even bigger than defense. Make that one up. Trump is flat out saying, cut rates to lower the government's interest bill at any cost to the middle class, U.S. small business, and the U.S. economy itself. But let me get rich off of it. Let me get richer off of it. Go ahead, defend it. Defend it, red hats. Give it your best shot. Consequences, currency devaluation, don't help you. More printed dollars, more debt monetization, weaker purchasing power, artificial suppression of yields, like Trump wants because he's going to get richer now. The bond market becomes a powder keg. We're going to speak about that detonation that's coming up. Manipulated and more dangerous. Now, I wrote click here that takes you back to this, which is in your inbox right now if you subscribe to the Freedom Platform. Be sure to read that. You feel like subscribing to the Freedom Platform for free? Well, there's a link down below. You can 7 days for free. Bottom line, the full faith and credit of the U.S. is being hollowed out from within. We're being wiped the freak out from within. We're being pillaged from within. And like I said, if Biden were doing this, the red hats would be... Oh my God! I can't even think about what would be happening here. It would be epic. It's screaming from rooftops. But Trump does it. It's just fine. Make it up. Let's talk about this, people. So the Federal Reserve, they see inflation now. They also see the bond market is flashing a potentially worrisome sign. Yeah, this is Market Watch. The debt market/bond market is a detonation zone just waiting to go off. I'm going to read this to you, Lions. The debt market/bond market is in a literal detonation zone on a monstrous scale, and it's just waiting to go off. I would love to see President Trump get caught on the wrong side of this trade. If the debt market goes off, let's just say all of a sudden some kind of freaky divine intervention occurs and the bond market starts to sell off, he'll get wiped out. More than likely he has leverage bets here. President Trump loves debt. So he probably bought these on margin or a derivative of, who knows how he actually did it. He would go broke. And obviously it would destroy everything else along with it. So yeah, I would love to see that happen. Anyway, the debt market is a literal detonation zone on a monstrous scale. It's just waiting to go off. The debt market is Babylon's detonation zone, a real danger hidden in plain sight. It is the fuse of the entire global financial system, and right now it's smoking. Explosive size, 100 trillion plus a global bond market. President Trump owns $100 million of it, more than that. It's too big to fail, too big to save, unpayable debt. As of now, the U.S. is issuing 1.1 plus trillion new debt every 100 days. We all know that, common knowledge. So what happens if it blows? What happens? Yields spike. The stock market gets vaporized. Trump gets vaporized, which I would love to see. Liquidity freezes and the system locks up. Sound familiar to you? Yeah. Lions, the bond market is not just a market. It is the detonation zone of the hyper debt bubble. Can't make this stuff up. I dare someone out here to try to make any of this stuff up. This is worse than Twilight Zone. And we're being pillaged from within, raped from within. The 1 and 2%ers are in control. And I can guarantee you we are going to get lower rates. Although, think about what's going on here, people. This is too much. You get the Fed in here buying all the debt. Okay, they have become the lender and buyer of last resort. That paper I showed you earlier in your inbox, if you subscribe to the Freedom Platform, breaks it all down for you. With regard to what the Treasury is doing here, you think they're done? We know the Treasury is now buying back the debt they're issuing with the main line to the Fed. That must increase. It can't slow. That's because we are in the end game towards full detonation of the system. You know, I guess if you were a 1%er or the President of the United States who's turned the Oval Office into a casino for stablecoins and, of course, cryptocurrencies, him and his sons, they're laughing at everybody, especially the red hats. So they're useful idiots. And continue to be. I can't believe people defend what Trump is doing here. You couldn't make it up, because if Biden did it, as I said, they'd be defecating in their shorts. It would be an amazing thing to see. Vomitous, of course, but I've been laughing. I'm laughing now because I'm trying to get these people to wake up. It's not going to happen. They've literally been spiritually dispossessed. Something seriously going on over there. Anyway, look, guys, this stuff is epic. Epic. What we're talking about here. So that's kind of it. All right. I want to hear from you on all the stuff we just spoke about. What happened to temporary or transitory? Who's being held to account? How about no one here? What we're going to get, again, according to Bessent here, Scott Bessent, our illustrious U.S., the Treasury Secretary here, there are 11 really great candidates for the Fed who are going to play ball. Code for, they're going to do whatever we say. They're going to suppress rates to the nth degree, possibly below 4% on the 10-year yield. Trump is going to make untold amounts of cash. He's going to be laughing all the way to the bank. Him and his rich friends are all doing the same thing. If they think Trump is the only one, no, they're all doing it. They all realize where this is going, including Vance. Again, if Biden or Kamala were doing any of this stuff, the red hats would be defecating themselves. They wouldn't know what to do. But now they just keep their mouths shut because they're useless. They are absolutely useless. If I were one of them, I'd be embarrassed. I really would. Again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I hated Biden. I hate this guy. I hate the system. And if you still think your guy's the right one, good. Let's see how it's going to work out for you. It's not working out so far, is it? No, it ain't going to. If you're looking for something to change, not going to change. The pillaging of the United States is, it's over. It's over. They're robbing us blind. Killing the you got to give the guy credit. President Trump is actually saying, look, man, inflation is not bad enough. I want to weaken your currency further here, foster the wealth transfer, the Cantillon effect, right up to the 1 and 2%ers. You're going to pay for it. He's got the guts to say it. I got to give the man credit where credit's due. It's an incredible thing, but he believes that we are too stupid to know the difference. Oh yeah, weaker currency. What weaker currency? I'm already paying $5 for something I was paying $2 for something just last year. But you want to weaken the currency more? Oh. Come on, man. They're taking to the streets right now, but they're not. They're leading themselves to the slaughterhouse, man. Dystopia. Welcome to it. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to let you go. Love you so much. And do not forget lines, as I said. You really got to, you got to do this. You got to read through this. It's in your inbox right now. I can tell how many people read it. Looks like only about 20%. Go through this. You're going to love it. All right. That's it. Love you. What all I got. I will see some of you in the morning for my early report, which I covered this at length there. Most of you I will not see, unfortunately, because you're still holding out. You don't want to join the Freedom Platform. You'd rather stay here with the commercials and the bots and the screening. Yeah, okay. All right. Love you guys anyway. No matter what you do, you know that. I got you. We got this. And if you think this clown show from the top down is going to end anytime soon, expect this to get worse by exponents moving forward. America's losing. America is a failed state. So you really almost can't blame the 1% and 2%ers for driving us into the ground because the people are too stupid. It's literally the survival of the fittest, honestly. And the 1% and 2%ers feel they're more fit than the rest of us. So why not suck us all dry until there's nothing left but a hollowed out shell? The world, the streets full of zombified people who have no clue what's happening or what just happened to them. So again, yeah, maybe it's a natural selection, but I can promise you, I'm keeping myself on the right side of this, and you too, especially those of you that, again, who get all the inside stuff, who subscribe to the Freedom Platform. I got you. I got all of you. I got you guys here too. But that's it, guys. I don't know what else to say anymore. As I said, I'll see some of you in the morning, or I'll see you here tomorrow night. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. That's it.